ThumbGenie now supports embed code generation, but in order to get this working, you actually need to configure your template. So what you need to do is either hit Command E or Control E if you're on Windows, or come up to the window menu and choose Embed Template, which will launch a separate window. And you can see there's a series of 4 tokens here that get replaced throughout any embed code that you put in here. So we have things like a token for width, a token for height, a token for the content URL, which would be the movie URL. Actually, it's the movie name. A token for the thumbnail name. So if we look at this, you can see here in this particular area, we've got the any place that there's width or heights put in, we put in the token value width or height. We also do that for things like container height and container width. See, we're using that token right there on those. Now we also, if you take a look at these URLs in here, so here's some flash stars we pass in. Here's the URL to the actual video file, and you can see this is just a fake URL, www.yourdomain.com/media directory, and then the file name of the movie. So the token content gets put in there. Same thing for the thumb. We need to pass in a URL. So again, yourdomain.com/media/ here's the thumb token, which is the name of the file, the thumbnail that's being loaded up for the click to pay. Now, if you want to set up and use the default template that comes with it, which looks exactly like this, then all you need to do is modify the URLs to match your domain and your directory structure where you're uploading them to. So if you put in, for instance, on my server, this would be www.brooksandrus.com. I do have a media folder where I put all my Jang screencasts, and then followed by the content token. Same thing for the thumb, www.brooksandrus.com. You can see I have to replace that in a couple of, or in a few different places because it's both an object and an embed tag. Now, if you want, you can get real fancy and you can completely replace this with your own embed code. You might, like me, I actually happen to use the Kimley embed code syntax, and if I were to do that, I would just simply delete this and paste in my new syntax that I wanted to do token replacement on. So what happens is, we'll just take a look at this. And you can close this window down, you can open it back up. I'm going to leave it open because when it's open, we'll actually see that the embed code gets generated. Not only does it get put on your clipboard, but if this window is open, it will get pasted in the lower pane here. So if I pop this guy open here, or give it focus, and then let's drag in a video file. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and pause that. And one thing to note about this video file is it's 960 by 540, and I embed my stuff at actually 640 by 360. So I'm going to constrain the aspect ratio, and that'll generate a thumbnail that's smaller. So we'll scale the thumbnail down to the dimensions that fit within my embed code. And another thing to note is that these output dimensions are what will actually be used for the width and height that gets generated. So I've got 640 360. I'm just going to go ahead and choose to save these. And okay, so there, I just had my thumbnail generated. And if we come over here, let's take a look at our embed code template now. Move the pane up here. You can see in every instance where there was a width or a height, it was replaced with 640 or 360 appropriately. Same thing for container width and container height here. You can also note that www.yourdomain.com/media/governmentapis.mp4, that was the name of the file that we dragged in. So that was the movie file. And then we have the thumb URL, which is www.yourdomain.com/media/governmentapis.jpg. If you do a file save as and give your JPEG a different name than your video file, that's the name in the save as dialog that you gave it is actually what will be replaced here. So get your template set up and start generating embed code.